Well, if I look excited today, then I gotta say, you really pegged me, because today is the day that finally get to do the shaft. That's right, the Brian Tooley Racing Truck Norris camshaft. Going in the LS, right about there. Yeah, there you go. I'm going to really lube our shaft so it will just glide in nicely and not wreck any of the sides or anything, or any of the bearing races on the way in. Look at that. Love it. Now, I am going to excessively cover this thing in assembly grease, because honestly, I can. I found one of my kids' paintbrushes over there that was brand new, and I'm just going to town. Not gonna lie that I'm nervous about this part. I've done a few camshafts just honestly in practice. One thing I've seen guys do, so just take a pry bar and just put it in the end, but it's for support. It's not really for anything else. Okay, so back of the cam, going in gently. I'll just take my time. All the bearings have been lubed, which was a feat in itself because I had to try to reach that middle one, which wasn't easy. And there we go. Just like that. Hope I wasn't standing in front of it the whole time, but we have one installed camshaft, and look at how pretty. We should have spinach. I don't have anything in there right now, so it should spin okay. Everything kept lube on it. It looks good. Come back and torque this down to what it's supposed to be. And I've already got the engine at top dead center. There's a little dot on the crank gear which shows me where it needs to be. So now I'm going to put on my timing gear. This goes in here, which will line this pin up, and it will have a corresponding dot. And that will just help me get that side of things figured out. And then we move on to lifters. I took them all back out and put Loctite on them. I forgot to do that. So now it's done. Let us go dig in our box as we're done playing with our shaft. Here's our lifter gauges, and here is the Brian Tooley Racing 3-bolt 4-pole cam gear, which is what we're going to be running on here. There we are, look at that. So it's not a dot on this one, it's a little divot. So this, hey, we're almost lined up right out of the gate, look at that. Oh, actually we're way off. And then we will rotate our cam back to right there. So we're lined up. And I'm gonna go get the hardware for it and bolt her in there. So that's the 3-bolt conversion plate that Brian Tooley offers. So I don't have a 12-point socket set, so I'm gonna have to wait to torque those. But in the meantime, we're gonna take that off, put on our new one, and then put the chain on. And then I'm going to just put our top cover on for the time being, because now that there's this much grease on the cam lobes. I don't want dirt and junk getting in there. Chain is on. Those look lined up. Put our tensioner in now. Watch, I'll have to take it all off because I was supposed to have the tensioner in first. Because I decided to do this a different way. Oh, no, but not at all. Okay, so we're going to do a full rotation with the cam turning. See if we get any binding. All right, we're coming back around to top dead center. And that should be it right there. These have been Loctited, these have not. I will come back and do that. I'm waiting for the gasket for my cam plate and a new sensor actually, because the other one broke. Yes, it broke coming out. So that I'm not going to tighten down because I don't want to mess up our gasket, but it's going to sit on there like this now. There we are. We'll give a couple of these a finger tighten. Now we can start looking at lifters. And what else do we need? Push rods. Lifters and push rods are next. Well, I mean, heads, right? So there's a big controversy out there as to whether or not you're supposed to pre-inject your lifters with lube. I don't do this enough to know. The thing I did read was camshaft makers tend to say no. I'm gonna reach out to this guy. I've just picked up his channel actually. It's really good. It's Powell Machine. Super laid back guy. Seems like he knows exactly what he's talking about. I'm gonna reach out to him and see what his take on things is. And paper straws. All right. Go from there. When I get an answer, or if I get an answer from him, I'll give you a shout and I'll catch up on that. Refreshing. For now though, I think for the day on this engine I'm pretty much finished until I get my gaskets in. I gotta start cleaning, preparing the head surface, and ooh, yeah, right, I guess we can still see the cam all through there. So we're gonna fill those with a paper towel for now and get to some cleaning. Alright. Thought I was done because I was just going to do some little cleanup and stuff today, and plus I'm still working on that guy a little bit. But I got into this and I realized I should really give it a quick little filming. It's pretty cool. So this is the way lifters work. I remember once again, like I said, lots of controversy surrounding how to do these. So here are my new lifters. Now they're already lubricated somewhat. You can see it comes off on your hands. They're a roller lifter, which is really cool. And basically what's really neat about them is in these guides, they just lock into place. So that one locks in there. 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 I'm still, even though everything is covered in assembly lube inside the engine, I'm covering these just because. And of course, I'm going to turn the engine over before I start it. And we're going to prime the oil and all that kind of stuff, because I still don't want to just start a dry engine. See if I can do this with camera in hand. There is a bolt, so you just bring it on over here to the engine, you'll see there's a ridge right there, lines up with the ridge right there. You hope none of these fall out because you're doing it one-handed. You do your best to line them up. What I did with the other side is just kind of wiggle lightly so they line up in the holes, because I mean it's pretty tight fit. Oh, kind of work its way. Oh, there we go. And then you just sort of slide them in there. And now we have our lifters in, just like that. And then there's a bolt right here for the center, just to lock this tray in place. You know, if I was better prepared, I could actually get the heads back on, and this thing would be super close to being done, but I can't find my plastic scraper to get all this junk off. I worked it over with acetone. I got a lot of just the initial stuff off, but I do need to scrape some. This is why I filled these holes here with paper towel for now. But I was using this blue towel, and the reason I stopped was it just kept disintegrating with the acetone. It was getting blue fuzz. You can probably see some. There's right there, some on the top of that piston, absolutely everywhere. So I'm gonna rethink it, see if I can find any cool tips and tricks online. And so there you go. That's how you go about doing those roller lifters in an LS. On to the next. Oh, when I get them all in, we'll give it a spin, and we'll just see what's going on. We'll make sure the cam feels good in there. It'll wipe a bunch of the grease and stuff onto the lifters. You'll have to stick with me. I'm going through this slow because this is my first LS build, and honestly it's been really fun so far. Really enjoyed it. Okay, so we've got all of the valves in on the one side, or on both sides, all the lifters I mean. Let's see if she spins. There we go. All the way around. Once again, that's obviously just touching the ends, so there's no compression on them, but we'll go through again and add compression. Once the heads are on, that is. Cool.